Thank you for joining us for the Spirit of Christmas, heartwarming tales from across the globe. Each story reminds us that kindness and connection are at the heart of the season, bringing us closer together no matter where we are. Stay tuned for more heartwarming tales, and may these stories inspire you to spread love and warmth this Christmas.
The Light of Kindness. In the quaint British village of Chesterton, Christmas arrived with a quiet grace, the kind that only small towns truly knew. Rows of stone cottages, their roofs dusted with snow, lined the narrow, winding lanes, and wreaths adorned nearly every door. Lights twinkled from windows, illuminating the frosty panes with a warm, inviting glow. A gentle hush blanketed the town, only interrupted by the crunch of footsteps on the snow and the soft murmuring of townsfolk sharing greetings. For Sarah Langford, this was her favourite time of year. A schoolteacher in her late 20s, Sarah had lived in Chesterton all her life, and every Christmas she delighted in the simple joys of the season. The aroma of freshly baked mince pies from the village bakery, the sight of carolers singing on the cobblestone streets, the feeling of anticipation that hung in the air like a holiday magic all its own. But this year, as she watched her neighbours hurrying through their holiday errands, Sarah felt that something essential was missing. It wasn't that people had forgotten to celebrate Christmas. In fact, the village looked as festive as ever. But Sarah sensed a kind of hurriedness, a quiet worry in the eyes of her neighbours. Times had been hard in Chesterton recently. Some families had lost loved ones, others had faced financial hardships. The once tight-knit community felt distant, each person wrapped up in their own concerns. One evening, Sarah sat by her small kitchen table, looking out the window at the faint glow of Christmas lights across the village square. Her little cat, Marmalade, curled up beside her, purring softly. Sarah's heart ached to do something, anything, to remind people of the love and kindness that had always defined Chesterton. Maybe, she whispered, her eyes brightening with an idea. Maybe I could bring a little light back to our village. In her mind, the plan unfolded. She would create small parcels filled with treats, winter essentials, and little messages of encouragement. She would deliver them secretly, leaving them on doorsteps, hoping to remind her neighbours that they were not alone, that someone cared. Scene transition, preparing the parcels. The next morning, Sarah rose early, filled with excitement and purpose. She gathered everything she needed: small boxes, ribbons, warm scarves, and gloves, along with handmade cards decorated with cheerful snowmen and Christmas trees. She filled each box with a selection of goodies: mince pies from the bakery, packets of cocoa, soft woolen socks, and, tucked between each item, a card with a simple, heartfelt message. You are not alone. Wishing you warmth and kindness this Christmas. Sarah's heart swelled as she imagined her neighbours' reactions. She wanted these gifts to feel like a warm hug, a reminder that they were seen and valued. With each parcel, she felt a spark of joy and purpose, as if the spirit of Christmas was guiding her hands. By the time the sun set, Sarah had prepared over a dozen parcels. She placed them in a basket, wrapped herself in a warm coat and scarf, and set out into the frosty evening, her steps light with anticipation. Scene: delivering the gifts in the village. Chesterton was quiet that evening, the street lamps casting a gentle glow on the cobbled streets. Sarah moved from house to house, leaving a parcel on each doorstep. She imagined her neighbours' surprise in the morning, how they would smile when they opened their doors to find an unexpected gift. At the Miller house, she paused to look through the window where Mrs. Miller sat alone by the fireplace, her expression distant and sombre. Sarah's heart ached for the elderly widow who had lost her husband earlier that year. She placed a parcel on Mrs. Miller's doorstep, adding an extra card with a handwritten message. You are not forgotten. With love this Christmas. Sarah left quietly, hoping that her small gesture would bring Mrs. Miller some comfort. As she continued her deliveries, Sarah felt a profound sense of peace. She was bringing a bit of light to each home, a reminder of the kindness and connection that had always been at the heart of Chesterton. Scene: a surprise encounter. When Sarah arrived at the edge of the village, she was startled to see the figure of Tom Evans, a local carpenter, walking toward her. Tom was a quiet man who kept to himself, and they hadn't spoken much outside of passing hellos. He noticed her basket filled with parcels and raised an eyebrow, a curious smile tugging at his lips. "Out playing Santa tonight, are we?" he asked, his voice warm and gentle. Sarah blushed, caught off guard. "Well, something like that," she replied, laughing. "I thought our village could use a little extra kindness this Christmas." Tom's expression softened. "It's a beautiful idea. This village hasn't felt the same lately, has it?" She shook her head. "No, it hasn't. I just wanted people to remember that we're all here for each other. Even if it's just a small gesture, I thought it might make a difference." Tom nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "You know, Sarah, I'd like to help. I've been meaning to do something for the village too, but I didn't know where to start. Maybe we could work together." A warm sense of companionship filled Sarah's heart. "I'd like that very much." Together they walked through the village, delivering the last few parcels, sharing quiet conversations and laughter along the way. As they left the final parcel, Sarah felt the glow of new friendship and shared purpose, knowing that Christmas had brought her closer not only to her neighbours, but to people she had never truly known. Scene: the morning surprise. The next morning, as the first light of dawn cast a golden glow over Chesterton, the village awoke to find Sarah's gifts on their doorsteps. Mrs. Miller, upon discovering her parcel, opened it with trembling hands, her heart filling with gratitude at the thought that someone had remembered her. Tom Evans, who had joined Sarah in her mission, felt a newfound warmth as he watched the reactions of the villagers. Parents, children, and elderly neighbours alike were touched by the unexpected gifts, their hearts uplifted by the kindness Sarah had shared. As Sarah walked through the village that day, she noticed smiles on faces that had seemed tired and distant just days before. Neighbours stopped to greet one another, exchanging warm wishes and laughter. It was as if the simple gesture of kindness had rekindled the spirit of Christmas in Chesterton, reminding everyone of the love and generosity that defined their village. And as evening fell, the village square glowed brighter than ever, illuminated not only by Christmas lights, but by the warmth of community and connection. Sarah returned home that night, her heart full, knowing that she had been a part of something beautiful. This was the true light of Christmas, the light of kindness, shining in every heart. Scene: an unexpected visit. The morning after Sarah's deliveries, she was surprised by a knock on her door. She opened it to find Mrs. Miller bundled in a warm coat and scarf, holding Sarah's gift box in her hands. Her eyes shone with gratitude and something deeper, a rekindled spark. "Oh, Sarah, I just had to come by," Mrs. Miller began, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for the beautiful gift. I was feeling so alone this Christmas, missing Harold more than ever. But when I found your gift on my doorstep, it reminded me that I'm not alone. I have this village, these people, and friends like you." Sarah felt a warmth spread through her heart, touched that her small gesture had meant so much. She reached out, taking Mrs. Miller's hands in hers. "I'm so glad you felt that, Mrs. Miller," Sarah said softly. "You've given so much to this village over the years. It was only right to remind you that you're cared for and appreciated." Mrs. Miller smiled, her eyes brimming with tears. "Well, I've decided that I'm not spending Christmas alone. I'd like to host an afternoon tea at my home and invite anyone who's around. I think it's what Harold would have wanted." Sarah's heart swelled with joy at the thought of neighbours gathering once more, sharing tea, laughter, and companionship. She could already imagine the warmth filling Mrs. Miller's cosy living room, the aroma of tea blending with the scent of pine and holiday treats. "That's a wonderful idea, Mrs. Miller. I'll be there, and I'll spread the word," I'm sure many people would love to join you. Scene: the community tea. Word of Mrs. Miller's Christmas tea spread quickly, and by that afternoon, nearly a dozen people gathered at her quaint cottage. The living room was decorated with holiday wreaths and ornaments, and a fire crackled warmly in the hearth, casting a soft glow on the smiling faces of her guests. The air was filled with the rich aroma of spiced tea, ginger biscuits, and freshly baked mince pies. As people settled in, conversation flowed easily, as if they were old friends rather than neighbours who had once merely exchanged passing greetings. Sarah watched with quiet happiness as everyone chatted, laughed, and shared stories of Christmases past. Mrs. Miller moved around the room pouring tea and offering treats, her expression filled with contentment. Sarah knew that hosting this gathering was bringing her a sense of purpose and connection, something she had longed for since her husband's passing. Tom Evans arrived a bit later, carrying a tray of freshly made scones. He spotted Sarah from across the room and made his way over, a warm smile lighting up his face. "I heard about the tea from Mrs. Parker," he said, setting the tray on the table. "It's wonderful to see everyone coming together like this. You really did something special for the village, Sarah." Sarah felt a flutter of warmth at his words. "I didn't do it alone," she replied. "You helped, and so did everyone else who came today. I think we all just needed a little reminder of what Christmas is about." Tom nodded, glancing around at the lively gathering. It's been a long time since Chesterton felt like this. A community, not just a collection of houses. They shared a smile, a quiet understanding passing between them. In that moment, Sarah felt the true meaning of her mission. The light of kindness was not something she had given, but something they had created together. Scene: the light spreads. In the days that followed, Chesterton continued to feel transformed by the warmth of connection that had begun with Sarah's simple gesture. Mrs. Miller's tea had been a success, rekindling old friendships and building new ones, and the spirit of kindness continued to ripple through the village. Families who had once been strangers now greeted each other with warmth, sharing stories and laughter on the snowy sidewalks. Neighbours who had once been too busy to stop for a chat now lingered by each other's fences, catching up and making plans to meet again. Inspired by Sarah's example, others began to spread kindness in their own ways. Mr. Thompson, the local grocer, placed a box of free produce at the entrance of his shop, inviting anyone who needed it to help themselves. Mrs. Parker, who loved baking, began delivering fresh bread and cookies to elderly neighbours who struggled to get out during the winter. The village square, once a place people hurried through on their way to errands, became a gathering spot. Children built snowmen together, families strolled hand in hand, and the sound of laughter and caroling filled the air. And at the heart of it all was Sarah, watching with a quiet joy as her small act of kindness grew into something larger than she could have ever imagined. Scene: Christmas Eve service. On Christmas Eve, the village gathered at the small stone church on the hill for their annual service. The pews were filled with families, friends, and neighbours, all of them dressed in warm coats and scarves, their faces lit with the soft glow of candlelight. The choir sang carols, their voices rising to the rafters, filling the space with a sense of peace and unity. As Sarah sat beside Tom, she felt a sense of completeness. Looking around, she saw familiar faces and new friends, each one a part of the community that had come together, not out of obligation, but out of a shared love for one another. When the service ended, the congregation filed out of the church, where a light snow had begun to fall. Sarah and Tom walked together down the hill, their steps slow as they took in the beauty of the quiet village below, each home glowing warmly in the night. Tom turned to Sarah, his voice soft. "Thank you, Sarah, for reminding us all of what really matters." She smiled, her heart full. "I didn't do it alone. We all brought the light back to Chesterton. I just gave it a little nudge." They shared a laugh, their breath visible in the crisp night air. As they walked back to their homes, side by side, Sarah knew that this Christmas was one she would remember forever. Not because of gifts or grand celebrations, but because of the simple, powerful light of kindness that had brought them all together. Scene: Christmas morning reflections. On Christmas morning, Sarah awoke to the sound of bells ringing softly from the church on the hill. She rose, wrapped in a warm blanket, and looked out her window at the quiet, snow-covered village below. Each home was like a little beacon of warmth and love, a testament to the kindness and connection they had rediscovered together. As she sipped her morning tea, Sarah felt a deep sense of peace. She thought of Mrs. Miller, of Tom, of the children who had laughed and played in the snow. She knew that the spirit of kindness would continue to grow in Chesterton, lighting the way for every Christmas to come. And as the first rays of sunlight touched the rooftops, illuminating the village in a soft golden glow, Sarah whispered to herself, "This is Christmas. This is what it's all about." She smiled, knowing that the light of kindness would forever shine in Chesterton.
Thank you for joining us for the Spirit of Christmas, heartwarming tales from across the globe. Each story reminds us that kindness and connection are at the heart of the season, bringing us closer together no matter where we are. Stay tuned for more heartwarming tales, and may these stories inspire you to spread love and warmth this Christmas.
Birthdays dance upon the breeze. Lights hang softly from the trees. Whispers of a silent night. Hearts aglow with pure delight. Children's laughter fills the air. Kindness sparked with every step. Joy, love in every part, guided by the light of heart. Oh, the light of the heart, it glows, warms the spirit as it flows. Feel the magic all around. In this season, joy is found. Harp and bells in gentle play, strings that softly lead the way. Carols sung by voices bright, chasing shadows with their light. Gifts exchanged with tender hands. In this warmth our love extends. Memories made as sweet as wine. In the glow our spirits shine. Oh, the light of the heart, it glows, warms the spirit as it flows. Feel the magic all around. In this season, joy is found. Oh, the light of the heart, it glows, warms the spirit as it flows. Feel the magic all around. In this season, joy is found.
Snowflakes drifting from the sky. Fireside glow where hearts align. Candles casting whispers bright in the warmth of winter's night. Stars like freckles on the night. Families gathered in delight. Silent hopes and dreams aglow in the chill of falling snow. Sing the songs of Yuletide cheer. Every voice so loud, so clear. Feel the love in every chord. Heart-side harmony adored. Whispered tales by crackling flame. Memories with every name. Laughter wraps the room in light, everlasting in the night. Gifts and bows with endless grace. Joy is written on each face. Peaceful hearts and gentle sighs, shining bright in children's eyes. Sing the songs of Yuletide cheer. Every voice so loud, so clear. Feel the love in every chord. Heart-side harmony adored.
En la noche silenciosa, la luna brillará. En la cabaña de madera, historias compartirán. El viento susurra secretos de un mundo tan lejano. Bajo las mismas estrellas, el amor nunca es en vano. Los niños duermen tranquilos, sueños de Navidad. La chimenea chisporrotea con su amable bondad. La nieve cae suavemente como un abrazo gentil. Bajo las mismas estrellas, en este mundo febril. Bajo las mismas estrellas, cantamos al destino. En la noche de invierno, nuestros corazones se unirán. El tiempo sigue su curso en este lazo divino. Y cuando todo pase, nuestras almas volarán. El fuego crepita aún, historias recontó. Las sombras del pasado en el calor se borró. La paz llena la casa, un espíritu acogedor. Bajo las mismas estrellas vivimos en honor. Los recuerdos del futuro en suspiros se vivirán. Las promesas que hicimos en la eternidad durarán. El cielo es nuestro testigo en esta noche sin fin. Bajo las mismas estrellas, el amor siempre será un sinfín. Bajo las mismas estrellas, cantamos al destino. En la noche de invierno, nuestros corazones se unirán. El tiempo sigue su curso en este lazo divino. Y cuando todo pase, nuestras almas volarán.
Cupid's arrow missed, but still our hearts entwine. Beneath the evergreen, our love's pure and fine. The snowflakes whisper songs of yesteryear. In the moonlit glow, you hold me near. Gingerbread and mistletoe, the night is pure delight. Candles flicker melodies that dance within the light. Our laughter echoes softly through the chill, while silver stars above they twinkle still. Beneath the evergreen, our hearts will forever sing. Wrapped in cozy blankets, a timeless golden ring. The winter breeze may blow, yet we remain locked within the magic of this heartfelt refrain. Your eyes reflect the fire's gentle cheer. Hand in hand we wander in a world so clear. Sweet moments freeze in time like crystal snow. With every step our love continues to grow. In the quiet hush of a Christmas night, underneath the starlit sky so bright, our spirits blend in harmony, sweet grace. I find my home within your warm embrace. Songs of carolers fill the wintry air. In this festive Eden, love's beyond compare. Beneath the evergreen we carve our names. Within the everlast where love remains.
Snowflakes dance and swirl around. Children's laughter is the sound. Gifts are wrapped in ribbons bright. Tales of wonder fill the night.
Chimney smoke and candles glow. Through the streets the carols flow. Joyful smiles from ear to ear. Magic's in the air this year. Stars above in silent gleam. Dreams unfold like winter's dream.
rooftops cling, echoes of the seasons sing. Every step leave prints so clear, every breath feels crisp and near.
Sleigh bells ring through frosty air, families gather everywhere. Stories old and stories new, all the world seems fresh and true. Stars above in silence gleam, dreams unfold like winter's dream. Hearts are warmed by fire's light, peace and love on this cold night. Chimney smoke and candles glow, through the streets the carols flow. Joyful smiles from ear to ear, magic's in the air this year. Stars above in silence gleam, dreams unfold like winter's dream. Hearts are warmed by fire's light, peace and love on this cold night.
Flutes whisper tales of distant lands, steel drums sing a warm golden sounds. Bells like stars in winter's bright sky, strings like dreams as the night goes by. Lanterns glowing in the twilight, children's laughter in the moonlight. Voices join in harmonious cheer, bringing joy as the new year draws near. Underneath the glowing tree so grand, holding tight to each loving hand. New beginnings fill the frosty air, magic moments that we'll always share. Snowflakes dance upon the silver ground, melodies of hope in every sound. Unity in every gleam of light, hearts aglow through the winter night. Echoes of past years softly blend with the wishes that we all send. Memories we'll cherish and hold dear as we welcome another year. Underneath the glowing tree so grand, holding tight to each loving hand. New beginnings fill the frosty air, magic moments that we'll always share. So grand, holding tight to each loving hand. New beginnings fill the frosty air, magic moments that we'll always share. Underneath the glowing tree so grand, holding tight to each loving hand. magic moments that we'll always share. Oh, magic moments.